Hey, Sasha Dubacaroos, how the heck are you? So I'm going to do a couple things with you. I'm going to finish off the U pick from Orthodox Farmhouse, but also put together the ingredients for something I've done in the past called my strawberry shortcake old fashioned. So I'm going to serve it a little bit different than some of you are used to seeing. Traditionalists will get it, but nouveau old fashioned drinkers, well, what the hell? Anyways, I digress. Sure, that's working right. There we go. My set there. So, me is the Orthodox Farmhouse. This is their U Pick Strawberry, 4.8%. It is rather pricey for a 4.8% beer. However, that's because they're using locally produced strawberries. I'm going to pour the rest of what I have in here. Oh, this beer is absolutely gorgeous. I got to tell you, it is. Oh, wow. I had that when I was at the brewery. I only drank one beer there, and I got a couple things to go. But what I had there was, it was just insanely good. It was their Belgian dark, which was crazy. And I'm surprised that so the owner and I knew all of the same people, right? He was the first head brewer at Mother's. We both knew the owner, Jeff Schrag, and we knew most of the employees there at the time, Brian and Kyle, Jasmine, and a handful of others. For some reason, him and I never crossed paths, and I can't figure out why. Nevertheless, this beer is absolutely gorgeous. Orthodox Farmhouse Brewing, Fayetteville, Arkansas. If you ever get a chance, oh my gosh, you got to go. One of the best breweries I've ever been to. Now, I won't say I've been to a lot of breweries, but I won't say I've been to as many as some, right? I haven't been to many craft breweries on the West Coast or the Far East Coast. But if we're talking about Middle America, yeah, I've been to many. Nevertheless, man, Orthodox Farmhouse. If you're ever in that Northwest Arkansas area and you can only go to one, that is the one I would recommend the most. Uh, Bill says, hey, how are you? I'm going to put your comment up there for a second and then pull it back. How the heck are you? And Slush, anybody that ever wants to go on camera with me, just let me know and I'll send you the link. But until then, I'm just going to keep talking. I'm just going to do my thing, man. So this beer from Orthodox Farmhouse is crazy good. But it also, I haven't made my strawberry shortcake old fashioned in well about a year, and having this beer reminded me of that, so I decided to go ahead and make one today. So I used some turbinado sugar, made a raw sugar simple, added some blueberries, or not blueberry, but strawberry. Added some blueberries. I was thinking blueberry. Added some strawberries. So I got my strawberry shortcake old fashioned and some rhubarb bitters, is what I meant to say. So I got the strawberries, I got the strawberry simple, I got the rhubarb or rhubarb bitters. So, anyways, so I'm gonna when I finish this, I will bring that old fashioned up. But I do have it served more like you would see a Manhattan, for instance. I got it served in a coupe. And why do you do that, Tom? Because if we're being honest, the big cube is more of a recent development, right? That's only been in the last, I don't know, 30, maybe 40 years at the most. Traditionally, the old fashioned was served straight up, means chilled. In many cases, it was served like a Sazerac cocktail, chilled and served in a rocks glass, but in finer establishments, served in a coupe. I'm going to serve it in a coupe because that's how I personally like to drink. But if you want to serve it with the big cube or just serve it like a Sazerac without the cube but in a rocks glass, do your thing. I'm just saying I prefer an old fashioned without the ice in it. It'll give me just a second, and I'll be right back with that cocktail. So I made a raw sugar simple earlier with the turbinado sugar. Then I add the strawberries to get that flavor in there. Add a strawberry in there as a garnish, as you can see. I also added a little bit of vanilla. So I'm going strawberry shortcake, not just strawberry. You see what I'm doing there? The rhubarb bitters add that touch of tartness. Oh, that's gorgeous. But yes, so bottom line is, I'm not saying you're wrong if you want to put a cube in there. I'm just saying I'm not wrong for not, because traditionally the drink, the old fashioned traditionally actually was served straight up, which means chilled, and served either in a rocks glass or a coupe. In the 60s and 70s, it was served. Many places was served on the rocks with just whatever ice they were able to have. The big cube is more of a recent development. That's only within about the last maybe 20 years max that big cube has become a thing. But I prefer the drink straight up, which is why I serve it this way, which means I have it well chilled. The drink is chilled. My glass is well chilled. But I don't want that extra ice in there. I don't need it. I don't like it. So what rye am I using, you might ask? You might. So I'm using this one here. I'm using the Lipton Spirits. They're out of Kansas City, Missouri. This is Lab Chronicles Triple Cask. It's a rye aged in Missouri white oak, finished in Madeira and absinthe cask. Why is Missouri white oak special? Well, there are those that are going to tell you that Missouri white oak isn't used for various reasons. And those people will be lying to you because they have an agenda. Missouri white oak is used by many distilleries because it imparts more spice notes than most. That's why you'll see a lot of distilleries use Missouri white oak, but then finish with French oak. Why would they do that? Well, because you got that Missouri white oak that's going to add those extra spice notes. You finish it with French oak or French oak staves, and that adds that extra touch of vanilla. That's brilliant. But anyways, luncheon. Lifted Spirits out of Kansas City. These guys are absolutely brilliant. Finished in Madeira and absinthe cask. Because it's finished in that absinthe cask, you got that extra little something, right? So this rye really is tailor made for for a Sazerac style cocktail. But I like it here because the rye isn't very sweet. You've got those herbal notes of the absinthe cask because I'm adding the sweetness of my strawberry simple. Yeah, so it kind of balances everything out. Now, there are those that are going to want the drink a lot sweeter than I do, and I'm not going to deny that because I don't like a sweet drink. So you may want to opt for a slightly sweeter rye. However, for me, wow. Wow, man, this is brilliant. Anyway, Sláinte. But yes, because of that note, it is tailor made or Sazerac. And even I'm tasting, even with adding that, I can still taste that slightly herbal note. that cask, man. Anyways, I digress. I watched a video today about older Gen X, right? 65 to 72, it said. Because I've had this conversation with several folks about, Gen X, certain Gen X has very certain traits, I guess. But those are like the 75 to 80 Gen X. They believe things a very certain way. Whereas me, I see things a little differently. So, but this video about the early Gen X is really interesting because when I put it on, in all honesty, especially when I heard the initial narration of this British accent, I said, "Oh God, I'm going to go full Mystery Science Theater 3000 on this one." But then everything they said was spot on, and I'm going, "Oh damn." Because I really wanted, I was like, oh shit, that is correct. Anger. So, anger. uh, Boomers get accused of being angry about everything, and well, it's you know, if you were being general for generalizing, yeah, a lot of us seem to be angry about everything. But the early Gen X, so well, you have some boomer qualities, Tom. No, I don't. Well, yeah, but you're angry, but I'm angry in a different way. And here's the difference. Watching this video, like, holy crap, that's right. Boomers are angry because things are changing and they don't understand it. My me as that first generation of Gen X, I'm pissed off and angry because I know things are changing and those boomers don't get it. Right? They're angry because they don't understand it. I'm angry because they're still being racist, bigoted, and homophobic. So it's a different kind of angry. So, Tom, why are you angry at millennials? And yeah, Gen X does seem to be angry, especially that 65 to 72 seems to be angry at millennials a lot. Why? Because millennials, right? Millennials want to complain. Millennials want to bitch and moan and pitch a fit. When things aren't built specifically around them. And that bothers me, right? Well, Tom, that humor is crass. Well, it probably is. Doesn't mean it's not funny. Tom, that's insulting. Well, it might be. But I'm but from my point of view, from my point of view, it's funny. No, here's the thing, and I said that for a very specific reason. A lot of folks want to use an excuse to be bigoted or say harmful things because, well, that's the way I was brought up. Well, no, that's a cop out. The way I was brought up is a cop out. That's never acceptable. It might be the way you were brought up, but you still have the ability to change. And I think that's what a lot of Gen X has a lot of issue with millennials is that a lot of millennials don't get coping mechanisms, right? I get that millennials want the world to be a specific way, and that's not necessarily wrong. But a lot of the millennials I have dealt with seem to be very elitist. And they have a very bizarre definition of what success is. Many seem to be very materialistic. Success is having this. No, success isn't having a lot of things, because those who die with a lot of things still die, and those things, they just go on to rust. If millennials want us Gen X to respect them, how about you just be a decent human being, right? And that's what a lot of millennials don't get about Gen X is most of us may not be minimalist, but we're probably as close as you can get without that title, right? We're not looking to be successful in the way you think success is, right? We're not looking to make $1 million. We're not looking to have that fancy sports car, because I don't care about those kind of things. I never have. In fact, I once had a boss describe me as, he says, Tom, you are the best worker I have ever had, but my issue with you is I can't manipulate you. I can't. I I can't lure you with money, because you don't care. You'll do the work. You'll do anything I ask you to do, but holding this carrot out, you will only do what you think is appropriate. Coming up in the retail world, if anybody else is retail, you probably know what I'm talking about. They're going to ask you to do things that may not be what's the word I'm looking for. May not be what. I guess my thing is, I always want to do the right thing, and I don't care about the money. I mean, I wish I lived better, and I only say that in the sense that I wish I didn't have bills over my head, but I don't wish for more things. And I think that's a lot of what my generation, or that early Gen X, has issue with millennials. Is millennials seem to always be about things. Right? They want to say, "Oh, I have this money, so I can do this. I have this car. Look at me, I'm special." And I don't care about those things. I don't care what car you drive. I care that you treat people decently. If you walk into my place of employment and you talk about others in a disparaging way, yeah, no, I don't think you're a decent human. You might consider yourself a nice guy. You might consider yourself a decent human being. But if you're talking about people you're dealing with on a daily basis in a very disparaging way, you're not a good individual. And I wish you would get better. Anyways, that's all I got to say about that. I got nothing else. I got nothing left, man. I am Tom, the beer whisperer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, man. I'm also Tom, the whiskey whisperer, whiskey evangelist, purveyor of wisdom, all around good guy, sláinte. Yeah, I mean, it's been a rough week for me. I mean, it's March 13 years since we lost our son James to cancer. I've been struggling with a lot of things, and I have to go to work and listen to people say some really stupid fucking things. And because I'm behind the bar as an employee, I can't look at them and say, "Do you really realize how stupid you fucking sound right now?" I mean, I'm tired of hearing people that consider themselves Christian or decent human beings say disparaging things about others, and it really bugs the holy fuck out of me. I just wish we were better as a society. Anyways, I digress. Skip to the end, all around good guys. Sláinte. Damn. So we'll tell you that the vanilla that I use in this cocktail is homemade vanilla. So it's a little different. But anyways, it's very good. Anyway, that's sláinte.